Is Facebook Marketplace dropshipping already dead? It really depends on who you ask and what their specific experience with it has been so far. Now, I'm going to give you my opinion and what's been my experience over thousands of sales on the platform that I've done on both the personal marketplace and on shops since about April-ish of last year, okay? Is it trending downward? Is it trending upward? Is it getting harder? Is it getting easier? Is it maybe too saturated already? Is it even worth dropshipping on personal marketplace anymore, or should you solely focus on just using a shop, right? All of these things are stuff that we're going to cover, but first, if you're new to the channel and you're unfamiliar with who I am, my name's Bryan. I run an e-commerce company that does multiple six figures a year in profit, and I want to help you do the same, all right? So let's hop in and let's cover some specifics of all the questions that I kind of want to touch on, right? So first and foremost, the first thing I wanted to touch on is everybody's hopping over from personal marketplace to shops, right? That's all the craze. It's been honestly the craze since like maybe September-ish roughly off the top of my mind. Now, for full disclosure, I do both of them, right? And I think that they're both still incredible opportunities and still in their infancy and by far are not saturated. Now, I've already done videos on why I recommend moving over to shops, assuming that all things are equal, like shops is better, right? There's so many more things that you can do with shops, so many more tools as a seller that you get with shops, but I don't want to cover any of that specifically here because I've already dropped a video on this channel about why I recommend shops to the majority of people that have experience and why you should eventually think about moving over if you haven't already, right? But that's not to say that Facebook Marketplace personally is dead. It is by far not dead and is still a great opportunity, right? Also, if you want to check that video out, I'll drop it at the bottom of the description if you obviously want to check it out or save it for, into your watch later for after this video, right? But yes, Facebook Shops is a great opportunity, but they're not synonymous, right? Just because Shops is a good opportunity does not then make Marketplace a worse opportunity, right? Marketplace is still a phenomenal opportunity. Shops is a phenomenal opportunity. Facebook is building them both. The only issue that people are currently facing with Shops, for the most part, is that like little yellow marketplace badge where like you have the shop open, it's been accepted, but yet for whatever reason, Facebook has disabled your marketplace on that shop, and you have that little like clause that says it will be re-enabled automatically in early 2022, right? First, I want to touch on the fact of low views, okay? So I've listed as close to 150 products a day for, I don't know, the last 4 to 5 months or so, right? I don't personally do that, but my VAs do that. They're literally doing it on computers right now in the corner, okay? So I list as much as possible. I've talked about that in other videos. It's like, it's almost like, the way I look at it is like, if you're trying to make a comeback in like a baseball game, right? Why would you have a much better opportunity and chance to make a comeback if you have, 9 outs remaining rather than if you have 2 outs remaining. And so the same kind of strategy, the same concept goes into listing on personal Facebook Marketplace or even shops, right? The more you list, the better opportunity you have to make sales. It's a no-brainer, all right? And so most people just simply don't list enough, right? So I list about 130 a day, or I have my VAs list about 130 a day. That leaves me with about 20 listings to play with in case I get personal messages asking me for specific things. Like I've touched on this again in another video. I'll drop that video down at the bottom of the description if you want to check it out. But like one of my secrets is like people message me all the time saying like, hey, do you have this? Or hey, do you have this variation? Or do you have it for a specific, fit or whatever it is? And if I don't, what I do is I go out and I find that, I list that, and then I message them and say, yeah, I do, here it is. And quite often those people actually buy it, right? Because they're literally telling you what they want. And so my VAs list about 120, 130 a day. That leaves me with some wiggle room because I probably get at least upwards of 100 messages a day. Most days it's upwards of 100. And a lot of those are personal questions about like, hey, do you have, not like a lot, actually, that's the wrong way to put it, but like a good number of those are like specific requests for products or variations. And so I create those listings, and that's why I leave myself wiggle room. So the whole thing with like low views is like the whole reason I'm saying that, and I want to tie it back into the fact that I list so many a day that like I see so much data on listings. And even though I list that many, the majority of my listings don't actually get that many views. But overall, in the macro, in the micro, each listing might not do that great, and you might look at like the last 20 listings and be like, I'm getting 0 views or 1 view. This sucks. It's delayed. Okay, so like the reporting on Facebook is delayed, so you can't really look at it accurately all the time. And B, my sales have still been phenomenal. Okay, I still have done for the past 3 to 4 months over 10K in profit on personal marketplace, okay? Every single month since September. I don't actually remember what September was, but October definitely was with Halloween. November definitely was. December 1000% was. November was a little bit better than December actually. And January is my best month yet, right? And so that's across multiple personal marketplaces. But that said, it's still possible and there's still a lot of opportunity there. And my biggest secret is obviously listing quality products. I've, again, touched on this in other videos. Just check out the channel. And also list more, right? Give yourself more chances. It's a no-brainer, okay? Most people don't list the right products and most people don't list enough, okay? So I wanted to touch on that. People were reporting a lot of lower sales and a lot of lower views, almost like it's just like happening to them and Facebook is doing this to them. It's not, right? It literally has to do with what you're listing and how much you're listing. And that's the only thing, right? I've seen this on multiple marketplaces. I've seen this with students. Just list more, list better products, okay? And there's a million different ways to list better products. Figure out what works for you, test different things, and you'll figure that out, right? The last thing I want to touch on really fast is why people think it's dead, it's dying, it's saturated. And it seems like when you hop into these groups, or a lot more people are making like YouTube content about it now, like Facebook Marketplace dropshipping, and it's really hype. But it seems like from an inside perspective that a lot more people are doing it and it's getting too saturated. But we all live in echo chambers because when we hop on YouTube, we're interested in Facebook Marketplace dropshipping or whatever you're interested, right? And so YouTube serves you more of that content that you don't see all the other content out there. You literally just see that. Same thing with when you're on Facebook and like Facebook groups or scrolling your Facebook feed. Same thing with Instagram. Same thing with any of these social media networks, right? And so we live in these echo chambers where we think everybody else is like knows about this and is doing it as well. But it's just because we're in these echo chambers on social media that we think that, and we think it's so saturated, right? It is not oversaturated by any means. And also, Facebook Marketplace is still in its infancy with the shipping option, right? More and more people are getting more comfortable buying with shipping. I still get messages all the time, and I'm sure you do too if you do it, where people are like, hey, like, can I pick this up? Or like, hey, do you only offer shipping? Or how do I make a purchase? And you have to explain the process to them, right? And explain that like there's buyer protection and stuff like that, right? For like 30 days, and if they don't get their item and all that good stuff, right? So people are getting more and more comfortable buying on Marketplace with the shipping option. And there's literally billions of people on Facebook, obviously not within the US, but like hundreds of millions. And so more and more of those people are becoming comfortable buying on Marketplace. So it's opening up a bigger pool of buyers, even if there's an influx of more sellers, right? So both of those points literally knocks that whole argument out of like, it's not oversaturated. There's still plenty of opportunity there. And I really kind of wanted to touch on that in this video because I by no means think that it's dead or dying anytime soon. I see it for the next few years at least, if not longer than that. And honestly, like eBay or Walmart is probably like for the longest time was like Amazon's biggest competitor. If anybody can potentially knock Amazon off, which they won't obviously, but if anybody has the potentiality to do that, it is Facebook with all their customers and all the data that they already have on all their customers, okay? So this is still a phenomenal opportunity both on shops and on Marketplace, and I kind of just wanted to touch on that here. Now, if you want a step-by-step blueprint to your own six-figure Facebook Marketplace dropshipping business, Dropship Pro is linked directly in the description. Also, since the biggest issue that most people dropshipping on Facebook Marketplace face is clearly low views and low sales, I created a video that discusses the two biggest factors to why you get both of those and what you can do to combat it, right? So you can watch that video by clicking the link up in the right-hand corner right now if you'd like. I hope this video helps. I hope your sales are trending upward, and I hope to see you in the next one.